Well, my friends, the grill is pulled out again today. We're going to have some eye of the round steak cooked in a little while. But I thought I'd take a minute and share one of my stories with you. And I'll get out here and cook the steaks in a little while. I just got off of YouTube a few minutes ago watching one of my viewers' videos over at Wally's Place 66. Old Ron was telling everybody the story of his first car. And there was so much similarity to my first car, I figured I'd share my first car story with you as well. And you might want to drop over to Ron's channel and check out his video about his first car. I'll put a link down in the description. And not to be copying Ron, but he just brought back some memories to me that I thought I'd share with you. My first car really wasn't mine, it was my dad's. It was a 57 Ford. Well, he never drove it because he had a newer car. He had like a 60-something model sedan type Ford. I don't remember what kind it was. He never hardly drove the 57 anymore. And it was sitting out in the driveway. In fact, it had something wrong with, oh yeah, it had a defective starter. It wouldn't start. I was 14 or 15 at the time. I said, Dad, can I have that 57 Ford? Yeah, you can have it, son. Well, my dad was kind of a manipulative guy, and he knew it had a broke starter, and he didn't think I was capable of doing anything about it, so he was quite free in giving me the car. He went off to work the next day or two. I went down to the local car parts place and bought a starter. Came home, dug around the garage to find the right size wrench, got under that car, changed that starter myself. Seemed like I paid $10 to $12 for that rebuilt starter. When he come home, I was driving his 57 Ford up and down the street there. I said, thanks for the car, Dad. And it stayed parked out there in the driveway for quite a bit. I wasn't driving yet legally. I took the course in driver's ed. They taught us how to drive in an old Rambler. And I guess many of you remember what a Rambler is. That's what I learned to drive in. Anyway, I digress. Let's move ahead to a couple years. I'm 18 years old. I just graduated from high school. I'm going off to Orlando Junior College. Well, that old 57 Ford was a handy car to have around. Sometimes the carburetor would catch on fire and I had to jump out of the car and jerk the hood up and take a rag and beat the fire out on top of the carburetor. It had a gas leak. But it was a tough running car. Well, the story I'm going to share with you today is an incident that occurred on Interstate 4 between Sanford and Orlando. It's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. We got that 57 Ford and we're coming from the direction of Sanford going towards Orlando. And it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. There's me and a couple other guys in the car. I don't even remember where we were coming from. That old Ford had a speedometer on it that registered 120 miles an hour. I get the bright notion that I want to see if it'll go 120. We're out there on the interstate. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. What the heck? You know, similar to Ron's story, young men don't really think twice when they're doing something when it comes to driving. You kind of get a one-track mind. You go ahead and do it anyway. We're flying down Interstate 4. I get it up to about 90, push it all the way down. I reach the 100-mile-an-hour mark, and I'm kind of tense. You got to get that steering wheel just trying to keep it in the middle of the road. Finally, I got it up over 110. I got to make that 120-mile mark. I'm pushing it, got the gas pedal to the floor, and it's slowly gaining a little bit more speed. So we're going to make 120. We're going to make it. Well, we whipped around this curve. They're sitting by the road with 4 Florida Highway Patrol cars, parked one behind the other. But I guess they were getting ready to set up a speed trap or something. But they were all up by the frontmost car, standing by the bumper, talking to each other. When, what do they see? A 57 Ford comes zooming by like a streak of light. I thought, oh God, if I stop, we've had it. It shot on down the road there about a half a mile, turned off the headlights, and the first exit we come to, we took that exit. I looked in the rearview mirror as we went by them, and them patrolmen was all running to get in their cars. So we had a pretty good lead on them there at the time they got their cars coming after us. We took that first exit, shot up a road to some town residential area that we weren't even familiar with. Come to a housing project with ranch-style houses. Take the first right and shot up in that housing project, looking for a place to hide. Well, we spot a house on the right-hand side. Either there's nobody home or nobody lives in that house. So we shoot up the driveway and park in the carport. There's no cars, other cars in the driveway. Turn off the headlights and duck down in the seat. Well, sure enough, within about 10 seconds, one of them patrol cars was looking for us, came down that street with his floodlight shining all up and down. He stopped at the end of the driveway and shined it up there on the Ford. And I guess he was thinking, boy, that sure looks like it could be the car that went by us. But fortunate for us, he went on down the street continuing to look. No sooner did he get out of sight, we put that thing in reverse, got back on Interstate 4, and got our tail on to Orlando. And we didn't get caught. We got away with it. But it just goes to show you young people ain't got a whole lot of intelligence when it comes to recognizing this, getting into trouble. To top it off on my first car, in similarity to Ron's story, another incident with my car. There was this place in Orlando where you could go and park in this backyard of an abandoned house and watch a drive-in movie theater over a fence. And somebody had an illegal speaker hooked up in there, and all the teenagers from town would come to that abandoned house, go around the backyard and sit on a beach towel or something with your girlfriend and watch that movie. Well, I pulled up the driveway. It was a steep driveway to that house. Pulled up that driveway and put the car in park. It was an automatic, by the way. It wasn't a stick shift. And Ford transmission had a habit for not staying in gear, and I didn't know that. I shoved that thing up in park and didn't put the emergency brake on. Got out, went around back. Well, I was heading around back, and somebody hollered, "There goes your car, there goes your car." And I looked, and it was rolling down the driveway. So I ran and kind of dived in the window trying to put it back in park. You can't put an automatic transmission back in park when it's rolling without stopping it first, and it just made a grinding sound. By the time I could get it stopped, we were out in the street, and it crashed into a brand new 1965 car. I don't remember what model it was, and smashed in the side of it. Well, all the teenagers from that community, from that hangout we had, disappeared. They got in their cars and flew out of the neighborhood. And I'm left there on my own with my girlfriend. She wanted to go, and I said, "No, we're not going to be dishonest. We're going to go tell them." I went and knocked on the guy's house and told him I had run into his car. He came out and said, I wish I could help you. I mean, do we have to call the police? I wish I could help you. I'm a car dealer. And that's a demonstrator. And it don't belong to me, so we got to report it. So the police come out there and investigated. And they gave me a ticket for failure to park right. Went on about their business. Assuming I would take care of the damages, but I didn't have any car insurance. So I just, I never did take care of it. Well, I went ahead and joined the Navy. In the Navy, I was about 2 years later. I get this letter one day from the state of Florida saying, appear in court, Tallahassee, Florida, to explain why I never paid the damages on this car. Well, I took the letter to the XO on my ship, told him my predicament. I said, how the hell are we going to go to court in Tallahassee? Well, we're in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. He said, don't you worry about it, son, I'll take care of it. And he wrote him a letter saying Walter Parks is in the United States Navy, and if you want to talk to him, you can talk to him in 2 years when he gets out. We're not even in the country. Within a month I got a letter from him telling me my license was permanently revoked. And I didn't have a license till after I got out of the Navy and went and took the test again up in North Georgia. But they probably done me a favor. We did a lot of drinking and stuff in the Navy, and I probably would have got caught drinking and driving. Well, the moral of the story, I guess you would say, is boys will be boys, especially when it comes to driving. That's what Ron's story brought to mind, some memories from mine. Anyway, that's my story of my first car. Thanks for listening, my friends.